Happy birthday, Sagittarius. It's your birthday and you'll cry if you want to. I wanted to get your reading out before your birthday so that you have it. You can watch it before it. You know what I mean? This is, though, going to be for Sagittarius sun, moon, or rising. Many are intuitively guided to readings that may not even have that sign. That's fine. Trust your intuition when it comes to that. I feel like a lot of my subscribers know that, and I feel like you already take advantage of, in the best of ways. Like, if you feel guided, you have no problem clicking on it. And I think that's fantastic, because I feel like, my ultimate goal is to help people to trust their intuition, to trust their spirit guides, to trust the signs and the messages. And the more you're able to do that, the more you'll notice that you're called to certain readings, or certain readings will find you at just the right time. Take that as a sign. Take that as your sign. I mean, why would your guides not use me, first of all, since I do read through energy and the guides, and my guides, if like my guides connect with your guides whenever you show up. So time is fluid. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into your reading. I'm going to use the Good Tarot for you for your main deck, your main spread tarot portion of it. And then we're going to use the Gilded Tarot for your clarifiers, or to go a level deeper. Remember, this is your monthly, so it's going to be longer. Know that going in. If it's calling to you, try to stick around to the end, because I'm just telling you that is where I feel like the ultimate message comes out. And also through Mother Mary, I'll read from the book at the end, but we're going to go ahead and take a card, or allow a card to come out. Everything's pre-shuffled, by the way. And we're going to start with Mother Mary's words of wisdom, and then we'll move into the tarot portion. So let's begin. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Honesty. Honesty. That reminds me of what? An Elton John song? Is Elton John saying that? I am in touch with my true feelings regarding this situation. Honesty. I am in touch with my true feelings regarding this situation. Okay, we'll see. It'll come in through our reading what it's talking about. But I feel like if some of you came in here with a certain question right away, I feel like for some of you that's part of the answer, being honest with yourself. Alright, I am going to shuffle. Normally in the larger decks I just take off the top, but I feel like shuffling today. So let's shuffle. Okay. Well, the Star. Beautiful. First of all, it is a card of Aquarius. But this is about your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes, and bringing them into your world, right? It's not just like, I have a dream, I have wishes. This is about your part in it also, like helping to manifest it. But I feel like it's also saying that you have the ability to manifest at least one of your dreams, if not more. I like that it's the first card. We have the Hermit. Interesting. So we have Aquarius and Virgo side by side, in case anyone's keeping count. And then we have the King of Cups. Can be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, of course. Does not have to be. And then we have the Four of Cups. And then we have the Chariot, card of Cancer. You have 3 major arcanas out of 6 cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out of 5 cards. Okay. Before we move on, let's look at what we have right in front of us. So we have the 4 of Cups that is mirroring... Let me bring the lid down. We have the 4 of Cups that is mirroring the Star card. So, this is telling me a little bit of something. First of all, in the 4 of Cups, you do have a dream. There is, normally you'll see like this cup that's being handed to you, and I often feel like it's from the hand of God. At least your angels, your guides. But I feel like it is about, like, in the 4 of Cups, I do have a dream. But the 4 of Cups can also represent, but I'm not doing anything about it. This is an energy of, like, inactivity. Why? Well, usually because it's tied to the emotional house, you know. And the King of Cups right by that, that may talk about, like, someone that... either this king is being inactive, but it doesn't mean the king still doesn't have that dream, or it's you. One or the other. However, then we see the Chariot, which is a great energy to follow the 4 of Cups, because the Chariot is movement. You know, the Chariot talks about finding balance within oneself. You know, the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine. And that's when the Chariot shows, when I can find this balance, right? It's not that I'm trying to eliminate the dark part of me, because that's part of me, right? But I learned to balance it. The Chariot talks about your intention, and that's how the Chariot moves. You know, you don't need the reins to move the horses. It's your mind, it's your thoughts, it's what you tell it. Chariot goes wherever you want it to go. It's coming right under the energy again of your dreams. So I feel like, if nothing else, this is talking about movement towards something that you are hoping for. I don't know why I'm just noticing the 7, the 17, and the 7. Okay, well, this is not taking long. We have the Hangman. Alright, so the Hangman is a little bit of a pause in the action. But it's coming under the Hermit. Now, the Hermit, of course, can represent a Virgo for some of you. But I feel like what this is talking about is, you know, in the Hermit, I feel like we're seeking our spirituality. We're seeking answers, right? Sometimes it can signify going through the dark night of the soul. However, through that journey, you find the light, and the light is within. Often feel those who are willing to travel that road, you come out much more spiritual, with much more understanding of really everything. You know, I'm trying to think of what, but I think everything. You know, this Hermit, what I love about the Hermit in the Good Tarot is you can see the keys hanging, right? These keys are hanging. And I feel like there are like maybe 9 pinnacles that we go through. I know there's at least 4. But this can talk about chapters of our life, and the keys, right? The Hermit is about the final reflection. I'm going to gain the wisdom. I'm going to use it as my, you know, I'm going to put it in my tool bag. But these keys unlock the next chapter. So, you know, I don't feel like this is a one-time energy. However, I feel like the Hangman here, because the Hangman normally is seeking wisdom on the Hangman's next steps. But it feels like it's more of like a spiritual type. Like, I want a spiritual type understanding. I just got pulled back to Mother Mary. I am in touch with my true feelings regarding this situation. Hangman. Interesting, we have 2 kings now. We have the King of Cups, and now we have the King of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have the Five of Cups. I don't know why. It feels like my monitor is dark. Maybe it's just me. We have the Five of Cups. Interesting. So we go from the 4 to the 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups talks about where your focus is at. And this speaks about focusing on what I have lost. Whether it be a person, whether it be a situation, it's just the energy. It's in your emotional house. And it is, it's a 5. So it wants you to look at it. It wants you to see it so that you can change it. Now, change what? I think your focus. Because truly, this is about 2 cups that have yet to be discovered. Even if they're old cups, they're still coming like shiny and new, right? But this person doesn't realize that until they change their focus. And interesting, because coming under that 4 of Cups, I feel like I might have been lost in that energy for a little while. Okay, we have the 10 of Wands. I wasn't going to take this many cards, but we're not going to refuse them. Okay. We have the 7 of Pentacles. And then we have the 2 of Wands coming under these kings. Interesting. Now, if you're a gay male, this could certainly be talking about 2 kings, right? Again, it doesn't have to be their side. Let's talk about the kings. King of Cups. This is someone who normally, in the upright, would come to the table and understands, or at least their journey is, how do I say this? Like, I feel like the king is learning how to be in a relationship. I feel like this king feels better in a relationship with someone, that special person by their side. And then we have the King of Pentacles down here. So the King of Pentacles is quite the opposite of the King of Cups. King of Pentacles is someone, in the upright, does represent loyalty. I know some people are going to be like, bullshit. Well, some of them do. I know I'm with one, and it's very loyal. But I've been with some who haven't. You know what I mean? So it's really up to the person. But anyways, this is also about someone who can look at a situation from the big picture. That's kind of their specialty. And then what am I holding? The 2 of Wands. So I feel like with one of these kings, I may be moving forward. Now, what comes before that is the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles, first of all, it's a lesson in patience. You have the Hangman here, right? Being patient. Maybe one of these kings is going through this spiritual rebirth, let's just say. But again, I feel like it's almost like they had to be pulled into the dark to even understand the light. So that takes time, right? That takes time. But in the same breath, it's on your tree of what your soul wanted to accomplish in this lifetime. So, what's the patience about? It's allowing the next seed, because, just like these keys, there's more than one door. Just like the seeds, there's more than one seed. But it is allowing that seed to come to... I don't know why I always stumble with this, but, it just reminds me of, like, apples on a tree. Like, if I pick that apple too soon, it's going to be sour. If I pick it too late, it's going to be spoiled, right? It's at the right time. That's when it's best. So anyways, 7 of Pentacles to me means that, your soul wanted to experience probably love, but also the resistance of it. Now, why? Because I feel like in that type of energy, our souls gain more experience than our soul ever would if everything was just hunky-dory. You know, like everything was always good. Everything always went right. You know, it's through our mistakes. It's through our past that we have the opportunity to learn. We don't have to, you know, if it's something I don't want to drag forward, then I need to know that. I need to be able to reflect upon that. Anyway, Seven of Pentacles, I feel like it's just saying the good and the bad, all part of your tree. And I'm saying the bad. Let's say the good and the hard. And I'm saying that because right before it is the Ten of Wands. I don't know why I'm reading this line backwards, but that's just how I'm feeling it. So the Ten of Wands, you know, it's almost like that energy of like, I don't know if I can take another minute. I feel like the person in the Ten of Wands, you know, it's almost like I'm at a crossroads. And part of me just wants the Tower to come in. Just come in and clear this up, like clean it all out. But at the same time, it's about, you know, well, the Ten of Wands talks about a period of time when there's a lot of responsibilities on you. Maybe more than needed to be. In the Ten of Wands, I feel like what we got to look at is, do I tend to take on other people's responsibilities, other people's problems as my own? And should I? In the Ten of Wands, I don't think you should, because I feel like we need to go back to the 5, right? At the 5, when there's an opportunity for change. I feel like we didn't take it, so then we end up in the 10. Again, just a lesson, right? And sometimes, you know, it's just life. It's like, this is a period of time. Like, I'm thinking like when I was raising my kids, working full time, all of that, you know, like working, coming home and cooking and cleaning and then going to bed and getting up and doing it all over again, you know what I mean? But it's your responsibility. So we can also talk about that, like, you know, like for some of you, you may have children who are leaving the home, you know, where you're becoming, what's that word? I don't know. I cannot think when I do tarot, but I try not to think. I want the energy to come through. Anyways, it just feels like freedom. You know, if you look at this energy, it's like she's putting out all these fires, right? And, you know, Sagittarius, I feel like you feel comfortable in that energy. Like, I don't think you mind putting out other people's fires. However, when it starts to interfere with your own dreams, that's where I feel like the problem lies. Because we're opening the reading up with your dreams in mind. Okay. Let's get, I was going to say the last card, but we'll see if it's just one card, whatever wants to come out. Another king. What the heck? Okay. We have the Fool. Now, first of all, I love seeing the Fool in this line. It's next to the Two of Wands. So let's just say the Two of Wands is a crossroad. In this crossroad, there's not a lot of fear. Two of Wands is like, you know, let me at it. Yes, I want to start this journey. You know, and then the Fool is the perfect energy to mirror this Ten of Wands. Again, all this responsibility, all this putting out the fires, you know, the heaviness, like, just bring me the Tower. But then the Fool shows up as free and clear energy. Fool takes a chance. Where the Four of Cups, not so much. So, I feel like you're about to take a chance on something or someone, because of what comes out also with that is the King of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Isn't it funny how we got all the kings except for the King of Wands so far? So far. Alright, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Temperance. Beautiful. This is your card, first of all. Card of Sagittarius. I love that when your own major arcana shows up. But let's talk about Temperance, because we do have the Hangman, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Both speak about, and the Hermit, all really speak about time. You know, time. Patience or Temperance is the same thing. I mean, they call it patience in this deck. Why do I need to have patience? Because something, it's like, let's say I want one of these kings. That's really what I want. Maybe I'm missing one of these kings, and I'd like, my dream is for that to come into my life. Patience or temperance says you don't want it before it's ready. It wouldn't serve you. Or let's look at another way. Like I can use my own life for an example. The man I'm with now, Sam, which many of you know, was my childhood sweetheart. It was my first love. I was his first love. And then life happened, right? So around 17, we broke up, and I went my way, he went his way. Well, 40-some years later, he picked up the phone and called me out of the blue, and it was about 5 years. I mean, we talked for a long time. We worked a lot of issues over the phone, which was a good thing. Like, now I see it as a good thing. But ultimately, we did come together. And I feel like that period of time where, like, the phone, because, we broke up on the phone, we fought on the phone, we loved on the phone, you know what I mean? But it served us. It definitely served us, because now that I'm here, we're ready for each other. We're ready for that love. We're ready for that commitment. You know what I mean? And there's no doubt. There's just no doubt. So that's what I feel like all this time has been about, And listen, this could talk about this king, one of these kings or all these kings going through the energy of the hermit, right? Really learning about their spirituality, wanting to be the light for others. Maybe they've been selfish and they've felt that, right? And they want to change that energy. That's all the temperance is saying. Giving that opportunity, because it will only serve you. And also, it can be talking about you in the same time, right? All of us going through this energy, and then coming out the other end. Okay, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot, and let's see what all these kings are about. We don't have your king or queen yet, but we do have your major arcana. And to me, that's big. Especially as the underlying energy, because, this is the energy that is going. So, temperance saying, patience, my dear, right? But now it's at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like, and then the Two of Wands into the Fool. I feel like this is about something I have been patient in. And now it feels like it is coming to fruition. The time is now coming, right? I don't know why I keep saying right. All right, let's start at the top line. Let's look at the Star, the Hermit, the King of Cups, and the Four of Cups. Of course, we're reading it with the whole spread, but there you are. Queen of Wands. So, Sagittarius. Can be another Sagittarius. Aries or Leo. But I feel it's you. I just feel it's you. Because it's the first thing I thought, oh, there they are. Right over the Star. Right over the Star. This is about your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes. This is about being proactive in them. Then we have the Page of Pentacles over the Hermit. Well, to me, the Page of Pentacles is a period of time where I'm learning. I'm thinking about my foundation. Not just pentacles, but I want that strong foundation. This is about wisdom, coming over the Hermit. I wouldn't be surprised if someone is some type of a spiritual teacher or has the ability to be that. We do have the King here. of Pentacles. So this could certainly speak to that, that king at a younger period, and maybe what that king has also been going through. Of course, we also have the King of Cups right next to that too. And look at, okay, well, 2 cards here. Judgment. Judgment. Call to attention. The bugle has blown. This is about bringing you to the present moment. Why? Because some type of rebirth is about to happen. And then, how interesting that the match to the King of Cups comes out. The Queen of Cups. Over the 4, over the 4 cups. This could certainly be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but I feel it's you. I feel like you're all queens or kings, unless we feel otherwise. But I feel like this is 2 parts of you. The Queen of Wands, when I think of the Queen of Wands, or I think of Sagittarius, so when I think of fire, I think of action, I think of desire, I think of passion, and not much stops me from moving towards it. However, when life gets difficult or things get shaken up, that can certainly put boom, the Hangman comes in. But this Queen of Cups coming right over the 4 cups, it makes complete sense. The Queen and the King right here. Judgment, call to attention. But in the 4 of Cups, again, what am I not doing much about? My emotional house. And it's interesting because I feel like the spirit, at least in the King of Cups, I feel like, but it's in a line, so I'm going to say both. I feel like, I don't know, like they're seeing the truth of the matter. I feel like if this is someone who, at one time, let's just say you were with, and it didn't work out for whatever the reason, I feel like, but I still want them back. I still want them back. I feel like it's like this King's spirit guides are preparing him. I feel like they're preparing him. All right, let's keep going. Well, things are just jumping out all over the place. All right, we have the 3 of Cups now. The 4 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, and now the 3 Cups. But I like seeing this cup. This cup is a reason to celebrate, or the 3 of Cups is a reason to celebrate. It's the energy of joy. It's about something that I feel, because it's coming over the Chariot, that's coming your way, that does give you a reason again to celebrate, an energy where you truly feel joyous within. Coming right over that Chariot, and then right next to that Chariot is a Chariot. The Chariot shown in reverse, which makes sense coming over that Hangman. And I think, double Cancer, by the way. But I also feel, even though this Chariot is in reverse, I feel like, that was then. But this is about movement now. So I am putting it in the upright. And then we have the 4 of Swords. Well, 4 Swords is a healing. I have a feeling the Hangman is here because someone needed to heal. And listen, this isn't a one-time thing. Just like the Hermit has 9 keys to open up 9 different doors. Maybe after each cycle, we're meant to stop, reflect, heal what has been broken, right? If it's been broken, gain mental clarity over why something broke, whatever it is. This does take time. I feel like in the Four Swords, some people, I'm just gonna lay in bed and let myself heal. But sometimes you still have to move through the energy. And I'm saying that because there's a lot of movement, right? But this is coming over these 2 kings. Wow. Hello, Knight of Pentacles. My favorite knight. This knight, again, is a lesson in patience. This knight comes in at the right time, not before and not after. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I was just gone a second. Sam had to show me there was insect climbing on the outside of our living room window, and it was gigantic. But we don't know what it is. I took a picture of it. I was just sitting there watching how it crawled, or whatever word you want to use. Anyways, back to you. Okay, my favorite knight. Knight of Pentacles. Again, it's the right timing, right? So it's coming over the 5 cups. And so much energy of patience. However, that time, I feel like, is coming to an end, because now I feel like we're moving into action. So the right time feels like we're approaching the right time. Again, this night comes in not before and not after, but at the right time. Coming over that 5 of Cups. 5. Change. What do I want to change? Where my focus is at. If I'm focusing on all I have lost, which, listen, I get it, been there, done that, but it doesn't serve us. It serves us to understand it more than anything. So that change, and I feel like as soon as can it be this simple? Like, I change my focus and boom, the night shows up? Well, I think sometimes, yes, it can be that simple. Now, also, what it's looking at is the 4 swords. So somebody did need this healing period. It was important. It was important, and not just, and I'm not talking about of course it can be physical healing, but with judgment above that, I also feel like this is spiritual healing. Spirit, healing of my physical body, my physical mind, but also of my spiritual self. Because remember, we are a spiritual being having a human experience. Don't forget that. We're a spiritual being having a human experience. Think of the power in that, right? Because sometimes we feel so alone, broken, and but in the same breath, it's like there's nothing that you cannot handle. And I also say that with experience. So I feel like, this period of time clearly was important. So this night is moving in. Time is bringing something your way. Okay, let's keep going. It's like an extra special birthday gift. Well, hello, Knight of Cups. Okay, well, another night. This night is bringing in a cup of emotion, a cup of fulfillment. Or at least it has that potential. It's coming over the 10 of Wands. Listen, this 10 of Wands, I feel like it is your energy. And I feel the difficulty in it, but I also feel like that period wants to now come to an end. Will I allow it? Seven of Pentacles right next to it says, even like putting out all these fires, even though it wasn't, let's just say, your responsibility, still, you learned something very valuable out of that. And then the Knight of Cups. So I feel like that Ten of Wands does need to come to an end, and that is why the Fool is here, right? The Ten of Wands, the end of that type of energy, moving into the Fool. To me, the Fool is like free and clear. It's like living through my younger self, my inner child. It's allowing myself to have experiences. The Fool lives in the present moment. The Fool's not like, if I'm connecting with someone, like, hey, is this going to go the whole way? This isn't even the Fool I'm holding, but the Fool's like day by day, day by day. Someone is coming in and offering their cup to you. Wow. The Wheel of Fortune. Destiny. Coming right over that Seven of Pentacles. Everything I just said about that Seven of Pentacles, this is what it means. Right? It's part of your destiny. Now, do I have to take this cup? Do I have to take this ace that this knight's bringing in? No, I don't have to do any of that. But with your spiritual team, like, in the top line, I feel like I don't have to, but I feel like you'll want to. Destiny. And then I think like destiny. Okay. With the Hangman there and the Hermit. I think about really, what am I trying to say? Like spirituality. And listen, I feel like maybe who I was here is not who I am down here. Because there is energy that needed to be cleared, right? My focus needed to be looked at. Am I still focusing on all that has gone wrong in my life, or am I going to start focusing on what can still be, right? What can I create from this moment moving forward? The Knight of Pentacles is bringing you something that's going to help you in that area. And then the Knight of Cups, it's like it's covering all areas, right? It's like it's covering, let's just say, Pentacles, but then also covering love. We have the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords right here. And then look at this, Seven of Pentacles again. So Seven of Pentacles coming right between this King and a Queen. Again, I'm not even thinking about the signs. But if it was a sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And why do I think about signs? Because this could be your moon. This could be your rising. This could be, tied to your planetary action. So I feel like when you go into a reading, if you can't feel it, then it's probably not for you. Like you should feel it. So, Seven of Pentacles coming right between the Queen and the King. It's like these two are meant to be. I feel like this is about, listen, if this is someone of the past, what I want you to think about is they have gone through this period, and it may have taken, let's just say 9 years. Could be 9 months, could be 20 years, but it has taken time. And even if it's someone you don't know, it's giving you a peek at how someone arrives in this spiritual type of energy. That makes sense? Okay, well, I'm not done. I'm going to look at a couple things. What should we start with? I want to look at this Knight of Cups. Right down here. I was just making sure. Okay, I wanted to make, I'm like, did I push start again? Alright, let's look at the Knight of Cups. Wow. One went to the floor. Five of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. And look at this, the Knight of Swords. Okay, right off the bat, I feel like this is talking about potentially someone I had been with before. Now, if it's not someone I had been with before, what it's saying is someone that you have been with before kind of threw you the tower, right? Threw you out into the cold type of energy. But this is not about what was. This is about what can be, because the Ace of Pentacles is following that. So here's this Knight, right? Coming through the Five of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles, and then the Knight of Swords. I feel like this is communication, because he's looking right in, and then he's looking in at the Ace. If nothing else, I feel like this is someone who can give you a helping hand. Whether it be love, or maybe it be both. I don't know why I'm feeling like this helping hand. And then we have the Devil, card of Capricorn. I have a feeling that for some of you, this Knight of Swords is bringing in communication. I feel like they're bringing in communication because I feel like they want to be with you. In the same breath, I feel like through that communication, they may talk about some lower energy that they had maybe got stuck in, let's just say. You know, it's like, you know, where it's illusionary type energy. This could also talk about someone who needed to overcome something that, you know, like drinking, or, you know, something that served only them, but not really anybody else. So I feel like someone, because it's coming over this Knight again of Cups, I feel like this is, and the Knight of Swords is here. And what's this Knight of Swords bringing in? Not just communication, but the Ace of Pentacles. And it's also interesting because right before the Ace of Pentacles is the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is really where you're feeling like thrown out into the cold. You're feeling kind of alone. That type of energy. But what I like about the Five of Pentacles, because again, five, change, I have to keep moving through this energy. Like the Five of Pentacles, I don't feel like gives me the luxury of just sitting there, you know, and doing nothing because, you know, life was hard. No, I had to keep moving. I had to keep moving. This Knight, I feel like, is coming in as, you know, it almost feels like a helping hand. Like a hand up. In some way. Okay. Well, I'm not going to let that go. So now what I want to look at is just the Ace of Pentacles that this Knight alright, with the Eight of Swords. Swords is what they call self-created prison. This is sometimes when life just feels like it got too hard. So I start building walls to protect myself. Understandable. And we all do it, and we've all done it. but it doesn't serve us. Because ultimately and listen, it's your choice, right? Maybe you don't want anything in your life. That is your choice. But this is about walls that not just block out, let's say, love, but can block out signs from your guides, can block out aces that want to come in. I don't want to see them. She's blindfolded. That's why she can't see him. And then justice. First of all, card of Libra. You know, first of all, you have so many major arcanas. It's like I can't even keep track of them anymore. But justice. Let's go talk about, you know, that you've gone through a divorce. That there were ties that were cut. Now, you know, all of that I'm sure existed. But to me, when justice shows up in a reading, I mean, of course it can talk about a divorce, legal, things like that. But we're not looking at it from the negative point of view. We're looking at it from, I feel like, what your spirit guides want you to see from it. And that is about making you whole again. Justice is about fairness and balance. Can't have one without the other. But ultimately, justice's job is to make you whole again. Not better than, not less than, but whole. Okay, I'm going to leave that be for a minute. I'm going to come over to this Knight. The Knight of Pentacles. I want to know a little bit more about that. You know, and listen, this Knight of Pentacles is carrying one of your seeds, one of your soul seed of intention. And bam, here is this ace that this Knight promises. This Knight we can trust. You know, this Knight says let go of control. Let go of how something must show. And instead go with the flow. Be like the Fool, right? It's not about where I end up. It's about what's going to happen right at this moment. And then planting seeds from this moment moving forward. That's how you can better guarantee yourself a better life, right? I got to think about what seeds I'm planting right now. The Eight of Swords, I'm not planting seeds. So when harvest time comes around for this person, there's probably not going to be much of a harvest. Anyway, let's get back to this Knight. Knight of Pentacles. Many of you hear me call that your guardian angel. I just feel like it's guardian angel energy, especially with Judgment right there. It's like your spiritual team sending you signs. I feel like the healing period, even though, listen, you know, there's going to remain broken pieces of us, and that's okay. That's okay. And sometimes, you know, I have to be careful how I say this, because I don't want anyone to think like if you don't have a better half, let's say, then your life is unfulfilled. Sometimes you're meant to be singular, independent, learning on your own. And that way, when, let's just say the right, or let's just say where your guides, or another way of looking at it is what your soul wanted to experience, you're more open to it. You know, it's interesting because I feel like we're constantly battling our spirituality and our humanness, right? Our humanness is like limited, like, nope, it can't go, this isn't going to go anywhere. But our spiritual being knows that anything is possible. Okay, I don't know why I keep putting down the deck. Knight. Tell me more, tell me more. Page of Swords. Again, feels like communication. You know, it's interesting when I see the page, I think of a couple different things. I think potentially someone of an earlier time who, it's also touching the Four of Swords, who probably had to go through their own healing period. And let's say this is someone, listen, I feel like everyone has karma to pay. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like what we do or how we make another feel, let's say, we will sometime, at some place, experience it ourselves. Now, the same thing I feel like goes for like a partner, let's say, that hurt you. And then time, there's been time in between. A lot of times, even though we don't know this, they end up with someone who teaches them the exact lesson that they did to you. I don't even want to take this in a negative way, because I don't really feel this is about negativity. The page to me is also news, right? It's like I can feel, like almost like, I kind of feel like something's about to happen, or I kind of feel like so-and-so is going to contact me. I just feel it. We have the Tower. Look at that. We have the Ten of Wands again. Well, Ten of Wands, he's looking right at that Tower. I feel that all the time in the Tower. Like, I'm kind of at a crossroads here. I can drop these wands off my back, right? I could stop carrying them around. And the Tower does that for me. So the Tower isn't always a bad thing, right? I mean, it feels destructive, no doubt. But in the same breath, sometimes it takes the Tower to move us into the next chapter, let's say. Well, hello, lovers. Card of Gemini, first of all. Meaning of this card is a head over heart decision. To me, I feel the chemistry. And then look at this. So we're looking at this Knight of Pentacles and what this Knight is representing in your world. What is this Knight bringing in? Something, again, I've had to be patient for. And, that period of time while I was patient, it's not wasted time. Whether I'm healing, someone else is healing, whether I'm coming into my spirituality or someone else is coming into their spirituality, all of that takes time. But look at this. Knight of Pentacles. It says, I'm bringing something into your world that's going to expand it. You don't have to take it. But trust me. Does this mean that if this is talking about a relationship, it can go the whole way to the Ten of Pentacles? I think so. And I also find it interesting that in the Lover's card, in this deck, in the Gilded Tarot, the Divine Masculine, I don't know why I'm calling the Divine Masculine, but the Masculine, let's just say, is kind of like in spirit. Right? She can feel it. I mean, you can tell if you look at her, she can feel his energy, even though he's not physically connected to her at the time. I think that's what the Page of Swords is saying. Same thing. If I clear this energy, if I stop putting out everybody's fires, and I don't mean to be selfish, but sometimes you do need to be a little selfish and think about you, right? Your joy, your happiness. Because we start with that, your wishes, your dreams, and then bringing them into fruition. The Lovers. with the Ten of Pentacles. To me, the Ten of Pentacles is fantastic because this is something where I am setting down roots. This is family. This is having really more than I need. Everything that I need. And the Lovers is connected to that. I mean, coming off the Knight of Pentacles, it feels like a complete blessing. However, in the same breath, it feels like it is your soul seed of intention. So a blessing, but really your guides are just like, but sweetie, this was the time. This was the time where your soul agreed to this part now opening up. Judgment, call to the present moment. The Fool, I live in the present moment. Knights just want to come all, the Knight of Swords, communication, the Knight of Cups, some type of fulfillment coming your way. The Knight of Pentacles, I'm going to expand your world. Let me. Ace of Pentacles, there it is. It's like the Knights are showing their cards. Now, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and then we have the Ten of Pentacles. There are cards in between that. So I feel like, again, if I just say to myself, this has the potential to go to the Ten of Pentacles, and then I live from the Ace, I create every day, right? My intention, my seeds that I'm planting today will be my harvest in the fall. I mean, we're in the fall, but you know what I mean. So, I think I'm going to leave it there, though. I want to read that card. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. Let's read Honesty. Why can't I think of that song? Honesty. Alright. You received this card in answer to your question because Mother Mary sees a need for self-honesty if you are to proceed. What do you have to admit to yourself about your current situation? When you think about it, what feelings arise? Why? It's important to take stock of your emotions and thoughts about anything that confuses or annoys you. Otherwise, you're reacting instead of taking charge. Although the ego is threatened by looking deeper, it's an essential component of healing this situation. This card guides you to take some time to evaluate and understand your feelings. Remember, you're entitled to them, and they are neither right nor wrong. Very often, your feelings are the voices of angels delivering God's guidance to you. There it is. There it is. There it is. Alright, guys. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to... That with the Five of Pentacles, I had a look. With the Five of Pentacles. The Death card underneath that. So something did come to an end, right? But there's the opportunity of rebirth with that. Again, may have happened outside my control. But that doesn't mean it needs to affect me for the rest of my life. That's what Temperance is saying. Don't allow these blocks in the road. Find a way to get around them. Climb over them. Go under them. Alright, guys. I'm going to leave it there. It feels like you have a little bit of everything coming into your life, but I do feel like it starts with you first, right? Like, and I don't even need to know what it is. I feel like that's what Temperance says. Like, if I can just let go of control and work on my own energy, right? The higher my vibration is, the higher the vibration that will meet me. If my vibration is low, that's when I want to be careful, because I can certainly attract that type of energy back to me, right? That's when I attract those people that, I'm not going to say don't serve us, because there's a lesson in that, but it doesn't feel like someone I want to spend my life with. And sometimes maybe we have to know what we don't want, so we know what it is we do want. Again, letting go of control of exactly how something must show, because you can't control it. You can try, and that'll drive you crazy. So this is saying about just go with the flow, being proactive in your life. Whatever your dream is, this is saying you have the ability to manifest it. The Three of Cups gives you that energy to celebrate. Not just that, it puts joy back into your life. Be honest with yourself above all, and expect others to be honest with you too, right? That's what the Queen and the King of Swords would be. Like, if I speak the truth, then I want that truth back. Same with the Queen and the King of Cups. If I open my heart up, well then, I expect you to have your heart open. You know, it's like I'm saying expect, and I don't want to use that word. I don't want to use that word. Let's look at it in a different way. I know I keep talking, but look at it a different way. When the King and the Queen come to the table in the upright, they have both learned the lessons. They probably have both been through relationships that have not been easy, but they have learned. That was yesterday. Your spiritual team is saying, now it's about the present moment. Now it's about what wants to come in. This Eight of Swords is the only thing that I would worry about, because she has a blindfold on. She has this wall of protection around her. And what I want you to think about, instead of using that type of energy, you know, think about the Empress, where the Empress has learned from her life's experiences, right? And she doesn't allow it to harden her. No, she stays loving. She stays nurturing. But she also, because her vibration is higher, listen, there's no one who could pull the wool over her eyes. Or if they did, they wouldn't do it for long. So when you trust your intuition, when you trust your own spiritual protection, let's say, anything that tries to come through that wouldn't serve you, it's like the alarms will go off. Trust that. If the alarms go off, that's your signal, right? If it feels bad, it probably is bad. If it feels right, well, potentially, then it is right. But I still have the power of creating from this moment forward. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. I love you guys so much. My sister-in-law, by the way, is a Sagittarius. I should have thrown that out there. She's November 24th. I often feel my granddaughter, who is a Capricorn, I feel that she carries a lot of Sagittarius' energy. I don't know. I just feel it. So, anyways, happy birthday. Live in the present moment. Be the fool. Take a chance. You know, and that's what the fool is like, you know, baby steps. And what it doesn't feel right probably isn't right. But if it feels right, maybe give it a chance. Maybe give it a chance. All right. I love you guys. I will see you next time at our table. By the way, real quick, I want to shout out that I do have a membership program. 3 different tiers. Tier 1 is $2.99, and it's just a thank you for my work, and I appreciate that so much. Tier 2 is where I do special videos for them, and I'm also teaching tarot as I do readings through that. And then tier 3 includes all that, but also we do go live, and I answer any of your questions. So I just want to throw that out there and let you know that I do offer that. Doesn't take anything away from my normal readings or my normal channel. It's just, just me working a little harder. So I do offer that if you're interested. The join button is right below. Just click on that and it'll break down the tiers for you. It doesn't commit you by clicking that, because I would think that, like, well, maybe I don't want to join, and maybe I just want to know more. That's what it will do. It'll show you more. And also, I've had people ask me about personal readings, because they keep saying that I may stop doing personal readings, and there will come a time where I will. But right now is not the time, because we're moving into the holidays. So I want to remind you, if you want to give the gift of a reading to someone, try to get your name in early. That just means, because I go by order. Unless I feel called to another reading, I trust my intuition. So that's the only time I would skip ahead if I felt like, okay, I feel like this person needs it right now. But I'm only saying that so if it's something you want for the holidays, then you want to get booked as soon as you can, because normally I'm like 3 weeks behind, but through the holidays it can even be a little bit longer. Even though I'm going to work hard to try to get as far ahead as I can. But if you're interested in that, all the information, go into the more detail section right under this video, and everything is there for you. All right, guys. I love you. Again, happy birthday to those celebrating a birthday. I will see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.